Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. And before we get started on this Medford Infraction overview, long-term review, if you would, please hit that subscribe button, that bell notification icon down there. The bell notification icon will alert you when I release new videos, and letting the YouTube know that you're a human interested in EDC knife content and not a bot. And it'll also help my videos be seen by more people, allegedly, and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean a lot to me. So what we have today is the Medford Infraction. This is the first Medford knife that I found attractive. I used to had no desire for Medford, had no desire for the knives for Hinderer. My views slowly evolved in terms of the knives, and this particular knife always caught my attention because it had the finger deployment hole, has that long swedge, has just a really nice blade here, hollow grind, great belt satin, just handmade in America out in Phoenix. S35VN, I believe, is the blade steel on this. Titanium handles. This has got the stars and bars pattern on it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like the tail USA symbol on a World War II plane, and it's got some of that paneling engraved in there, and then it's got the blue hardware and the blue clip. The one thing that I will say about the Medfords that I wish was different, or I wish there was an option for, was a larger pocket clip. A different pocket clip that gave better attention. What's amazing about this knife is all the hardware around the body is T10, and the pivot here is a T25. I think it's a T25. I've got one over here. It is actually a T30. So when I adjust that pivot on that or my Mini Marauder, it's a T30 and T10s all the way around. So to me, it's built like a tank. You know, really it's two pieces of slabs of titanium, a really nice back spacer, and then this S35VN blade. For Medfords that are typically overbuilt, and this knife is also overbuilt when you look at the width and the weight and the dimensions we'll look at. But for somebody like me who has a medium to large size hand, this knife actually fits my hand quite well. I've got a choil that I can really utilize to get up deep into this blade, to make detail cuts, to do anything that I do EDC wise and then some. I mean, this knife I could use as a survival knife. This knife I could use as a defense knife. This knife has a lot of uses, right? It's big. It's, I think, beautiful. I love the lines of it. I love the way that the handle and the blade kind of arc out. I even like the little way that they've done the lanyard loop back here, the little lanyard tube for lanyard lovers. I'm seeing the reason that they would like lanyards, and I like seeing when they're integrated into a knife to where it doesn't take too much away from the knife, because I can still use that as a skull crusher, and it's not very obtrusive. But this knife is on bearings. It has fantastic action as I fail it. I fat fingered it that time. I went through the finger hole. When I went to flip it, my finger came out, and that slowed me down. So when I flip this, I've got to be on the edge, or 99% of the time, I don't even go for the hole. I just go for the wedge, the swedge there. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons about this, what I think is just a very elegant, made in the USA, sourced out by a guy that's very controversial, that I have no opinion on in terms of going there, but the knife does speak to me, and the fact that he employs a lot of people out there and they're making the knives in states, I've got to appreciate that just a little bit. So first off, let's look at this thing next to the cold steel 4MAX. And it's going to be much smaller than the cold steel 4MAX. Let's look at it next to the Civivi Baby Banter, which is much larger than the Civivi Baby Banter. So let's take a peek at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out, which we've all had in our pocket at some point or handled one. And it's a little bit longer than the Benchmade Bug Out, but guys, not a lot. And the Paramilitary 2 is going to be about 1/2 inch longer than the Medford Marauder. Now, where we see some differences is when we look at the thickness of these three knives. So of course the Medford is going to come in at the thickest blade, thickest handle, most robust knife, and that's what drew me to it besides the look, and that's why I picked up my second Medford. So let's get a couple of quick measurements here. We used a Javon very inexpensive donated ruler from one of my clients here in the city. And the blade is right over 3.5 inches, but just barely. And the handle is right at 4.25 inches. If I measure to where the first part of my hand would stop, I'm right over, we'll call it right under 4 inches. If I measure up to that choil, I am 4.75 inches up here. If I measure back here, that's where I was right at 4 inches, right under 4 inches here. 4.75 up here. My cutting edge comes in at 3.25. And I love that satin grind, guys. To me, that's just sick. And this is very slicey for a thick blade. Let me grab a little bit of the PVD Digest, and then we will get a few thickness and a weight. Look at that. I could do that all day long. It's just a great cutter, guys. It really is. I haven't put it through any hard use, and I kind of feel bad for not putting it through hard use, but I rarely go camping. I rarely get out to where I'm able to just hack around on stuff, but I would have no problem having this as my primary carry outside of my camp knife at the campsite to use it for, you know, doing some more manly type things, whittling wood and feather sticking and whatnot. Let's see how thick this is. All right, the blade stock 0.193, each side 0.18 on that titanium scale, 0.18 on that titanium scale. And then if I'm going to get the whole width of this knife or thickness of this knife, it's 0.60. So yeah, it is very much a bruiser, guys. Let me see what I can get behind the edge. The geometry is not just awesome, but if I get right down there behind the edge, 0.034, and that's above the bevel. But that is the Medford Knives Infraction. This comes in so many different colorways and so many different finishes. I saw one that Satu Dave had that I think he has for sale that is super cool and just this blacked out kind of graphite looking color. But I'll look at places like eKnives, Knives Plus, DLT Trading, GP Knives, where else do I go? USA Made Blades. They're always in stock, guys. Think of other places I go look at new Medfords. Patriot Knife Works. And basically, if you just Google Medford Knife Company or Medford Infraction, you can find these guys in stock. It's a knife that, yeah, it's on the higher side of cost. They don't hold their value quite as well as Hinderers, but you can get, a good part of your money out of it. And I look at as long as I keep it, which for me it'll probably be a forever knife, a pass down knife, because it's the type of knife that's built and designed to last that long. If I ever do sell it, I don't mind losing $100-$150, but I don't think that's going to be the case because, like I said, I don't sell knives. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe and hit the like or the bell notification icon. If you hit the like or don't like it, that's okay too. If you leave a comment, great. If you don't, I totally get it. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate over hate. I love you all. Peace.